What's up, everybody? It's Three Wheel Khalil, and today I wanted to talk about the Can-Am Ryker and Spyder warranty experience, what it's like to own a Can-Am Ryker or Spyder and have something go wrong and need to have it worked on, and kind of the pitfalls, the benefits, what's good, what's bad, what to know, what to look out for. So stick with me and let's break it down. In the past few years, I've had a decent amount of experience working with dealerships' warranty and service department to get my Ryker and Spyder back in tip-top shape. I can tell you that I owned my Ryker for 3 years and I've owned my Spyder for a little over a year. So I have a little bit of knowledge to share with the community on my experiences getting warranty, service, and repairs done on these Can-Ams. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you purchase a brand new Can-Am Ryker, brand new Can-Am Spyder, you receive a factory standard warranty. The Ryker warranty that you get is 1 year standard, the Spyder is 2 years standard. Sometimes Can-Am does different promotions where you can get an additional year of warranty coverage, either for registering right when the new models are announced or buying one of the closeout models at the end of a particular model year. So definitely want to keep an eye on their website for that, because I do think that having that additional coverage is valuable. Also, if you purchase a used Can-Am Spyder or Ryker, you're still entitled to that factory warranty, but you may want to call BRP Can-Am's customer service line, because there is a little bit of a process that they go through to transfer that warranty to a new owner, which is something I experienced when I purchased my original Ryker Rally, which is 2019 used that I bought in 2020. Additionally, there are some aftermarket warranties that some dealerships will try to bundle in with the sale of a Can-Am Ryker or Spyder. Usually this is with the used models, but it can be new based on if that dealership has a particular relationship with one of these warranty companies. I won't be focusing on the warranty process for those aftermarket warranties, but just my opinion on those is that I don't prefer those. I prefer the BRP Can-Am factory warranty, because the aftermarket warranty usually have some additional hoops to jump through. Sometimes they are not accepted by all the dealerships or service centers that you're going to want to work on your Can-Am, whereas the Can-Am factory warranty is going to be accepted anywhere where Can-Ams are sold and where they're doing Can-Am service. So it's what you're going to want to have, whereas some of those aftermarket warranties don't want to pay the same rates that Can-Am would be willing to pay for various jobs and the hours associated with it. So I'd stick to the Can-Am factory warranty if you can get it. Now, in a perfect world, you would get to ride and enjoy your Can-Am Spyder or Ryker all day, every day, and have no problems at all, but most likely you'll run into some sort of snag over the years with your Can-Am, and you might just need to bring it in for service. I've experienced some small issues over the years. Luckily, I've never had a failure to start. I've never been left stranded by my Can-Am Ryker or my Spyder. Never had to pull over to the side of the road, so nothing major, but there were certain things that either happened and I kind of monitored the situation, or things that made me plan to take my Can-Am in for service pretty quickly. So starting with the Ryker, I had an issue with coolant seepage. So the Ryker has a coolant tank where it's like a top and bottom piece that has a seam in the middle, and that seam, I was noticing after rides that I'd have like a dried up residue of some sort of liquid on the outside of that expansion tank. Sometimes I was like, is this something that was left over from early on when it was taken from deliveries? Is just some residual residue from maybe when it was first set up at the dealership. So I started to monitor it, and I would clean it and then see it come back after a few days when I ride and put it up. So I definitely noticed that there was a very slow leak, and it wasn't necessarily a serious issue because it wasn't spewing out or anything to a point where I could see it, but it would just leave a little bit of residue to let me know that it was that there was coolant seeping out. With that, I decided to take it in for service and have them look at that, and had that expansion tank replaced under warranty. On the Spyder side, I had 2 failures happen at the same time. Essentially, I had just gotten the warranty recall letter for the mirrors, and wasn't even really sure what that meant, that the mirrors were being recalled for, possibly not staying on the motorcycle. And lo and behold, one day I went out into my garage and one of my mirrors was just sitting on the ground, and it's just the actual mirror lens part had just fallen off onto the ground. So after I called up my dealership, they ordered the parts, and when the parts arrived, they told me to bring it into the dealership to have it serviced. At the same time, I had been having intermittent issues with my Spyder fender light. It was like the little indicator light that's on the front fender, on my left fender. Sometimes when I would put my turn signal on to go left, it would come on. Some days it wouldn't. Some days when if you're driving at night, it just kind of lights up, generally to, show your presence and the presence of those two front wheels on the road, and it just wouldn't light up. So I explained that to the dealership when I was getting that work done as well, and they incorporated that into the warranty work as well, and got the replacement part from Can-Am. But that had to be diagnosed on site, whereas the mirror, since it was a recall, they just went ahead and ordered those parts before they even saw it. The light, they wanted to diagnose in person and see whether or not it was the actual light assembly, or if it was, something with the wiring in between the bike and the fender. In each of those situations, the dealership service department was able to complete the warranty calls, no problem. There were differences in those experiences, and that's what I wanted to get into a little bit now and kind of tell you what the experience is like working with warranty. But as far as the actual quality of work that was done, I never had any reoccurrences of those problems after the initial service was done. So I am very pleased with the Can-Am warranty in that regard, and I think it is definitely valuable when you're purchasing Ryker or Spyders, which, as far as motorcycles go, are a little pricier than some, when you're talking about, anywhere from $8,000 to $30,000 that you could be spending on a motorcycle. So definitely valuable to have that, especially in the first couple years of ownership. Now with my Ryker, when I first had the issue, like I said earlier, I purchased a used Ryker, but it was still within that warranty period, and I actually was originally sold an aftermarket warranty. I knew I didn't really want the aftermarket warranty, but sometimes if you live in a state where you can cancel the warranty easily after, sometimes it's a decent negotiation tactic to be able to just go through the process and then just cancel it afterwards, because sometimes they're willing to play ball a little bit more on the price if they think that they're getting you on the back end on the warranty. So I actually found, while I was doing the process, I called up Can-Am and was able to get information on the current warranty and find out that the Ryker was actually still in warranty. So I went ahead and definitely canceled the aftermarket warranty. However, it did take a little bit of time to get them to transfer the warranty into my name, and therefore during that time when I was having the coolant seepage issue, they wouldn't work on it until that process was done. And during that process, they just had my Ryker sitting at the dealership waiting to be serviced. Unfortunately, a lot of these dealerships don't have a ton of indoor space where they're keeping these motorcycles, so my Ryker was just sitting outside getting dirty in the Florida sun, which is unlike how I actually keep it, because it was always garage kept. Both my Ryker and Spyder have never been kept outdoors, so it's a little disappointing when you're entrusting your vehicle for service and it sits outside, but that's just part of the game, possibly, depending on where you take it. Once we had that issue resolved and I called BRP back and forth to get them to look at that issue, eventually they did get back with the dealership, tell them to move forward with the warranty repair and get that coolant leak fixed. For the Spyder, it was a much more straightforward process. I purchased my Spyder brand new. I reached out to the dealership. I got them to get the mirror, which was a recall, not warranty, get that purchased, or ordered rather, and then get the fender indicator process started as far as diagnosis goes. They did not, once they started that process, I brought the Spyder into the dealership. That took about a solid 6+ weeks to get looked at, and then once it got looked at, for them to then order the parts. I think it was then multiple weeks after that. So that wasn't the best experience, and I don't know if that's just based on the dealership availability, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing any sort of service or warranty work is that the summertime, or like springtime right before summer, that's when everybody's getting their motorcycle serviced to get back on the road. So keep that in mind if you have warranty work that you need to do. It may be worth planning it out before things get busy. But unfortunately, kind of both of my experiences as far as time goes were pretty similar. 8 weeks, anywhere from a month to 8 weeks is pretty standard as far as these dealerships go on the power sports side. It's almost unheard of when you think of like a car, unless a part is back ordered. If you have a car, usually if you have a warranty problem, they're going to solve it in a week or two. Whereas power sports, it's a little bit more loose. They don't have as much mechanic staff on hand or tech staff on hand, so it does take a bit longer to get your bike back. So something to keep in mind. Not the best part of the experience. Maybe you've had a different experience with your warranty. But as far as the quality of work, I had no problems with the quality of work. My Spyder has been purring. My Ryker was purring before I let it go. And I never had to pay out of pocket at all for any of that warranty work. So as far as I'm concerned, the BRP Can-Am factory warranty is definitely a valuable piece of the puzzle when you're talking about Spyder ownership or Ryker ownership. So if you can get an additional year of coverage, it's definitely worth it. Or if you're willing to put up a little bit of money and get the additional coverage out of pocket via the BEST program, you definitely can do that as well. And that doesn't have to be done exactly when you purchase the motorcycle. You can purchase it, I believe, anytime while you're still in warranty. So keep that in mind, especially if you've had any little problems. I think it's especially worthwhile for a Ryker that if you're financing or making payments on, because you just don't want to get stuck with any sort of crazy unexpected expenses on a motorcycle, especially if it's not bought outright. So guys, I'd love to hear what your warranty experiences are in the comments. If you've had an amazing experience, if you had any bad experiences, or if you have any tips or tricks for folks who are thinking about purchasing their first Can-Am Ryker Spyder and what to look out for in the future. So thank you. As always, life is more fun on 3 wheels. Peace.